Are you looking for a hardware wallet, but you're not sure which to choose? Well, let's compare Trezor, Ledger, and Bitkey. And by the end of this video, you'll know which cold wallet solution is best for you. Starting off with Trezor, they're located in Prague, Czech Republic. The company has 3 different tiered models. First, the Model T coming in at $59 US. Then we have their newest model, the Safe 3, coming in at $79. And lastly is the Model 1 sitting at $159. On the other hand, Ledger is from Paris, France. And their product line starts with the base model, the Nano S Plus, at $79. Their mid-tier model, the Nano X, stands at $149. And the premium model called the Ledger Stacks stands at a whopping $279. But it's been delayed for most of the year, so you have to wait for this one. Block, the company behind Bitkey, is located in San Francisco, USA. Their product line is much narrower and easy to choose from, with only one model coming in at $150 US. Now, if color options are important to you, then Trezor and Ledger definitely have you covered. The Safe 3 comes in 4 different colors. We have black, rose, silver, and gold. They also made this incredible Bitcoin version, but unfortunately, it sold out in minutes and is now discontinued. The Model 1 comes in white and black, and the Model T just comes in black. For Ledger, the S Plus and X models come in black, green, purple, and this funky retro color. The still yet to be stacks, if it exists, will come in black. And although Bitkey has just one color option, the gold with black vibe has a classy feel, and it's definitely something different than all of the other hardware wallets. Hopefully more styles and options will be available at a later date. As for the design of the Trezor Model 1, it is a thermoplastic blend. It has a 1-inch OLED display screen, a 2-button pad, and it weighs about 12 grams. The Safe 3 is plastic with aluminum backplates. It has a 1-inch OLED display screen, the same as the Trezor 1, and a 2-button pad as well, coming in at 14 grams. The Model T is a thermoplastic blend, but this device has a 1.5-inch color LCD, and it's actually a touchscreen, weighing about 22 grams. Moving on to the Ledger S Plus, it's mostly plastic as well, but this has a stainless steel arm on it. It has an OLED display screen and 2 buttons on top of the device, weighing about 21 grams. Now, as for the Ledger X, it's quite similar to the S Plus. It's also mostly plastic with the stainless steel arm. It has that OLED display screen, but it has 2 buttons on the front next to the screen, and it's also Bluetooth compatible, weighing about 34 grams. Now, the Ledger Stacks is plastic and aluminum with these embedded magnets so you can connect them together if you have more than one. It has a 3.7-inch white and black e-ink curved touchscreen, say that 5 times fast, and it's also Bluetooth compatible. It comes in at 49.2 grams. Lastly, Bitkey is made of corian, which is a material used in countertops, and also stainless steel. There's no screen on this device. It has a fingerprint sensor and an NFC or near field communication chip, and it weighs about 65 grams, quite heavier than the rest of the devices. All Trezors use a PIN code, a passphrase, and 2-factor authentication. Now, one cool feature is that there is a micro SD slot on all Trezor products. The device gets bound to the SD card, and it actually can't get unlocked without you intentionally disabling the feature or factory resetting your device. The newest model, Safe 3, has an added secure element chip, EAL6+, and this device protects from unwarranted physical access. This secure element chip is also open source. As for Ledger, all products use a PIN code as part of their security measures. Every product also has a secure element chip, certified CC EAL6 in the S Plus and Stacks, but a certified CC EAL5 in the X model. Ledger's chips are not open source like Trezor's due to the company using a third-party supplier. Lastly, Bitkey chose to take a completely different route here. The company decided to use a microcontroller, specifically a Silicon Labs secure MCU. As stated in their blog, the reason against a secure element chip was for security and transparency reasons. Trezors have no battery, which means you must hardwire connect to a device to turn on your hardware wallet. It's good to know that the Model 1 uses a micro USB connection, but the Safe 3 and Model T both use a USB-C connection. For Ledger, it's a bit of a mix. The Nano S Plus has no battery and requires a USB-C connection. The X model contains a 100 mAh lithium-ion battery, said to last several hours in use, or a few months while idle and charged using USB-C. For the stacks, it contains a 200 mAh lithium-ion battery, lasting a bit longer than the X, but also having Qi wireless charging via the USB cable. It's actually the device without a screen that has the most powerful battery. Bitkey contains a 330 mAh lithium-ion battery, and charged using USB-C, the device should last longer than all of the other hardware wallets on this list. It's important to note that we tend to use hardware wallets only when sending crypto transactions, so battery size and length isn't too important for most people. For durability, Trezors are made mostly out of plastic. Now, don't get me wrong, plastic is not always a bad thing, as long as the device holds its integrity, and it also reduces weight compared to metal. Both the Ledger S Plus and X have a stainless steel arm that can be rotated to protect the screen and the device. This is a nice touch that gives users the peace of mind that the screen won't break easily. As for the stacks, it has a large exposed curved screen, which could become a liability if dropped by accident. There's no mention of screen protection on their website, and a break probably wouldn't be covered under the warranty. We'll need more info on this when the stacks is shipped. Made of both stainless steel and corian, a material used on countertops, there are high hopes that Bitkey will be one of the most durable hardware wallets on the market. Not much needs to be said for portability here, as all devices discussed here can easily be slipped into your pocket, bag, or even your pet's mouth. I've taken my Ledger S and X on flights with no issues on check-in. Here's where things get interesting. Let's discuss 3 vastly different approaches to recovering your crypto should things go sour. Trezor gives each user a 12-word seed phrase. They also encourage something called a Shamir backup, which uses an advanced sharing system that allows you to split your recovery seed phrase into 3 separate word lists. More info in the description. Ledger, on the other hand, gives each user a 24-word seed phrase. They also offer a service called Ledger Recover, in which users can pay a monthly subscription for 3 different companies to store a backup of their seed phrase. Bitkey takes the wildest approach altogether, choosing to have no seed phrase at all. There are 4 ways that users can recover their Bitcoin: cloud backup, delay and notify, social recovery, and break glass. For more details about each one, check out our latest video on Bitkey above. Something that's hugely important to people is KYC, or Know Your Customer, and if it's required to buy this hardware wallet. Trezor doesn't require any sort of identification, and many of their features actually promote anonymous transactions. Ledger have recently come under scrutiny for their analytics feature on Ledger Live. The company has been caught data harvesting for clicks, page visits, redirects, crypto transactions, number of accounts, and so much more. By tracking this information, Ledger could theoretically connect this info to our identity. They could sell it to third parties, or even that info could be given to your local government. Bitkey is possibly the most straightforward with KYC. The hardware wallets company Block is the creator of Cash App, which already requires an ID. They've also partnered with Coinbase, one of the biggest exchanges, which means Bitkey is likely to tie your crypto holdings to the transactions and an identity. It's also important to note here that users can also connect Bitkey to a Google or Apple iCloud account, further identifying a user. Trezor's companion app is Trezor Suite. The app supports over 8,000 crypto tokens, and it has a simplistic yet easy to use interface. One of the best features about Trezor Suite is the ability to download the Bitcoin-only firmware. This means less updates and reduced risk of bugs or security issues. For international users, Suite currently offers languages such as English, Spanish, Czech, Russian, Japanese, and there's more on the way. Lastly, the code is constantly updated, as can be seen for both their hardware and software on GitHub, with almost 15,000 commits. For Ledger, users can connect to their app called Ledger Live. According to their website, the app supports over 5,000 altcoins and also NFTs. There are many different features such as swap, earn, and even oversee your NFT collection. It's quite easy to navigate on the app and straightforward for new users. But the sheer amount of features can be overwhelming at first, due to the amount of third-party apps on the platform. With fewer options than Trezor, The app only supports English, French, and Spanish. The hardware wallet and app are constantly updated, and this can be shown through their GitHub info with over 30,000 commits. As an unfinished product, we're really unsure what to expect from the Bitkey app. We do know that only Bitcoin will be supported, allowing users to transfer to and from the app or from the device. For smaller transactions, you don't need to scan your Bitkey, but for larger ones, you will. Based on the screenshots, the device seems easygoing and simplistic, with minimal features needed inside of the app. It's also been confirmed that the app will only be in English at launch. Lastly, we're unsure how often code is being committed by the team itself, because Block is yet to release their open source on GitHub. Hierarchical deterministic accounts, or HD accounts, means that you can generate unlimited wallet addresses from the same private key. For Trezor, you need to listen closely because there is a limit intentionally put in place here. This means that you can only create 10 addresses per wallet per account. So for example, this would be only 10 Bitcoin addresses, 10 Ethereum addresses, and so on. But you could buy another hardware wallet if you need more addresses. For Ledger, it seems there's no cap here. Create as many wallet addresses as you'd like on your account. We can only assume that Bitkey will also allow for unlimited wallet addresses, but this will be found out at launch. Privacy is important to some, and yet less important to others. Trezor understands this, and that's why they've proven to support anonymity the most. Firstly, use Tor to encrypt your data so that the receiver of your transaction cannot find out your IP address to keep anonymity. Discrete mode in Trezor Suite allows you to hide your account balance and other sensitive info, only revealing on mouse over. The last feature, CoinJoin, allows you to send Bitcoin with other CoinJoin users. And this makes it impossible to know which piece of Bitcoin came from where. As touched on earlier, Trezor is completely open source. Now Ledger is another story, as only some of their tech is open source, such as Ledger Live. And Bitkey vows to become completely open source once the hardware wallet goes live in March 2024. Customer support can make it or break it for some people. Both Trezor and Ledger have an online contact form on their website. Use the chatbot to submit your questions. Bitkey has a more traditional style contact form on their support page. This could change after launch. As for all three hardware wallet companies, try to add them on Twitter, or you can send a DM to get their attention. Trezor, as claimed online, is the oldest standing hardware wallet, with the Trezor 1 launching in 2014. In an incredible 10 years in the space, which actually feels more like a century, the company has had a near flawless reputation over this time. Only two negative events stand out worth mentioning. One was the ability to physically hack into a Trezor Model T, and this was due to a security flaw. This led to the creation of their new secure element chip in the Safe3 model. Trezor has never been hacked apart from this. The second event was the addition of this KYC feature called AOPP, which automates the process of sharing proof that a user owns a private crypto wallet. After backlash, the feature was completely and immediately removed. All in all, Trezor hands down has the most proven track record in the hardware wallet space, and they have a strong community who really believes in them. Ledger, on the other hand, has been through fire and flames as of late. We recently made a video about 5 different Ledger mistakes that have happened in the past 5 years. See the link above. In short, the company has leaked over 1 million emails, has been caught data harvesting from their own users, and also allowed an ex-employee access to Ledger Live code, who in turn got hacked, allowing a hacker to upload malicious code to the Ledger Live app. As can be seen, public sentiment for Ledger is at an all-time low. They're also a great band. And unfortunately, they've done nothing to improve in that aspect, and we're expecting more coming from a crypto security company. And that leaves Bitkey, only a few months old in its infancy. To put it bluntly, Bitkey's success completely relies on the success and track record of founder Jack Dorsey himself. Now, Jack is a huge Bitcoin advocate, but his inexperience in creating a hardware wallet is something we need to be aware of. The crypto space is highly skeptical of change, so only time will tell. Potential users seem to be on the fence over these recovery features, the style of the device, and the choices that Bitkey has made in its design overall. So what hardware wallet do you choose? Well, That comes down to a few questions. Are you looking for the most choices on altcoin storage? Then get a Trezor or a Ledger. Are you looking for a Bitcoin only wallet? Well, use a Trezor with Bitcoin only firmware, or even try out the Bitkey. Is anonymity important to you? If yes, then Trezor is definitely your answer here. Do you want a seed phrase? Choose a Trezor or a Ledger. On a budget? Grab a Trezor such as the Model 1. Does a company's reputation matter to you? Then the answer is clearly Trezor. Altogether, there is no perfect hardware wallet solution, but hopefully this breakdown can help you get started towards choosing the right hardware wallet for you. Remember, there are tons and tons of choices out there, so keep your eye out and do your own research. If there are any other wallets you'd like me to review or compare, let me know in the comments down below. In the description are links if you're interested in buying a Trezor, a Bitkey, or a Ledger. And remember to trust yourself, store yourself, and verify yourself. See ya.